morning.
हरे कृष्ण विनीता गंधर्विका माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीति दासी from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Priti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your sweet association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjri Leela Devi Dasi from Cincinnati. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Manjari Leela Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation. Welcome to the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Cincinnati.
Hare Krishna, Shrimati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shyama Gauri Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving your sweet association. Very happy to hear your voice, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Gandharvika Mataji, my humble obeisances to you and all assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Param Bhavani Shama Devi Dasi from Baltimore, Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Param Pavani Shama Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your sweet association. Welcome to the call, Mataji, and all glories to your wonderful services.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. This is Sundarangi Radha Devi Dasi from Canada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your recitation every single day. And all glories to your wonderful services. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dharma Param to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada to live in Yogi Jayapinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your recitation. Welcome to the call. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Elkhorn.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karuna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every day. And all glories to your wonderful services to the group. We are very grateful to you, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Okay. We will do the introduction. I invite Mataji, Indu Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Sanatana Dharma Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 14th chapter, 1st verse. So we are starting today new chapter. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I request Param Bhavani Shama Mataji to take over and give a brief introduction about Prabhuji. Over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Mataji. Thank you for the opportunity of this seva. And dear devotees, our today's speaker, His Grace Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji, is a brahmachari from ISKCON Pune. He is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and has been practicing Krishna consciousness for more than 12 years. Prabhuji has studied B.Tech from NIT Trichy. Prabhuji has worked as a senior manager in Tata Motors, Pune. His current services include the area management and project development head at areas around Pune. He's a counselor, youth and corporate preacher, congregation preacher, secretary at VOICE organization, and he's also a remote mentor of NVCC Pune Temple. Prabhuji knows many languages such as English, Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, Bengali, Marathi, Telugu, and Japanese. His degrees include Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, IDC, and teachers training courses. Hare Krishna, dear Mataji. Here is a very brief introduction about our today's speaker. Over to you, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining and giving your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Wishing you happy Krishna conscious New Year, Prabhuji. We are very happy to have you in the beginning of the year to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, we will try our best to be on video, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Happy 2025. I don't say Happy New Year. It's not New Year as such, but it's Happy 2025. So those who want to accept the greetings of 2025, please turn on your videos. You will have an amazing 2025. I assure you that. So requesting all the wonderful devotees to please turn on your videos. Meanwhile, we start with prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Vanchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupaswarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhatnakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Surato Pango Mamandamatirgati Vatsarvasva Padambojo Radha Madana Mohano Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langaite girim Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Paramanandamaham. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Once again, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam discussion and also wishing you all a very happy 2025. Hari Hari. So, I'm very happy to be with all of you to present the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we're going to be starting a new chapter. Yes. And you will know much more about this chapter than me. Yes. Because this is not my chapter. This is something which is out of syllabus for me. Yes. And of course, many times devotees ask me this question, I give them different answers. So once I had gone to a place in Gujarat, nice, a very wonderful place, a very wonderful senior devotee couple. They asked me a very difficult question. Why it's difficult? Because we have to answer it many times. And as many as times asked, we have to answer. So the question was, why you became brahmachari? Now this is asked by relatives. When relatives ask, we give different answer. Sometimes we are asked this question when we for programs outside. Oh, you got so many qualifications, you had work experience, why did you become brahmachari? So usually when relatives or outsiders ask, professional people ask this question. So that time we can answer anything because we are Shastra Pandits compared to them. We are very learned in Shastras and we are definitely sure they don't know anything. They absolutely don't know anything about Shastra, so whatever we bluff, they will accept it. But when senior Grahastha devotees, they ask you this question, who are senior to you in Bhakti, who are much more learned than you in the Shastras, who are much more experienced, who are associated very closely with senior devotees, sannyasis in the mission of Srila Prabhupada, they are asking this question, then this question is very difficult. That's what I said. So I was asked this very difficult question around, oh, now this happened, this past time took place 7 years back. 7-8 years back. So then the answer, now I prayed to the Lord. Then I should answer this question in such a way, because no, it's you have to answer, you don't know Shastra. So what to do? Should answer in such a way that I do not be proud of myself, I become humble, at the same time the other devotees also, they feel happy about it. So I prayed to the Lord to answer. Because to me asking frankly, even still I'm figuring out why I joined. Of course, I joined the mission so that we can do some very wonderful practice and preaching. But they said, oh, that can be done here also in Grahastha life. And then I told that, see, the Grahastha life, in the ideal Grahastha life, there are so many rules and regulations. The ideal Grahastha, in fact, somebody who starts reading Manusmriti, when he starts his Grahastha life, he starts reading Manusmriti, he will, even if he goes on to the end of his life, he'll never be able to finish and understand what is Grahastha life. So it's a very difficult subject matter. So I chose an easy path to become brahmachari. So being Grahastha is very difficult for me, so I became a brahmachari, which is actually a fact also. It's actually a fact. So now coming to the topic or the chapter that we're going to be discussing today, it's called Ideal Family Life or Ideal Grahastha Life. And that's why I said, the thing that I don't have experience at all, you all are having good experience and you're all very good Grahasthas, right? But till now what we have learned, a summary of that will be definitely coming ahead. So this particular chapter, 7th canto, 14th chapter, Ideal Family Life, Ideal Grahastha Life is a subject matter, and I have been instructed to discuss on verse number 1. So the first 18 slokas, they describe the path of householder life. That means how does this householder life, Grahastha life, it promotes you to elevation to Krishna consciousness. How can one get elevated in Krishna consciousness in Grahastha life? What is that particular path? You read the small book of Prabhupada, Elevation to Krishna Consciousness? Somehow, it happens that small books we read only when we are small devotees. The moment we become big devotees, we give up the small books. It's not like that. So personally, what I try to do, I keep myself in touch with small books when we are in touch with, and then we take some book readings for newcomers, etc. So at least that particular point of time we come in contact. So there is, at least we should know the names of small books. Prabhupada has given such wonderful names. Krishna, the reservoir of pleasure, On the Way to Krishna, Elevation to Krishna Consciousness, Perfection of Yoga. At least these names we should know. Yes, and during the book distribution marathon, we get to know that price also, the cost we have to distribute, right? And sometimes we can even open and see what is there, right? So I personally like to take book readings for newcomers. So when we read, only newcomers we read books. After that, they say, Prabhu, we'll read on our own. Anyway, at least we get nourished by all this. So elevation to Krishna consciousness in Grahastha Ashram. That's the first 18 verses. That is the first section of this particular chapter. The second section that we learn is the time and place to perform Shraddha for the Pitras. Yeah, this is a very important activity. Yes, in fact, this is the reason why a person enters into grahasthashram. Putrarte kriyate arya putra pinda prayojanam. Person entering into the grahastha life, right? He is entering grahastha life accepting a bharya, a wife, and they together accept the grahasthashram as a sacrifice to give an opportunity to a soul to take a birth, human birth, and this particular living entity, he performs a satra putra. O nama naraka trayate iti putraha. That person who delivers his parents from entering into a hell called Pu is actually called as putra. Right? He is putra. Putra, it can also putri. There is no problem. Right? Even a son or a daughter. So there's a time and place to perform this activity of Shraddha. There's a very important function in the Grihastha life. That's why this particular section is dealt here. And then the third one is Grihastha life. Prabhupada would say it's a most important activity is worshipping the deity, deity worship. Very important. Because the sense which is the strongest is the sense of touch. There's a tendency for a person to touch the body of opposite sex. Yes. This comes even in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the first canto, 6th chapter, shloka number 36. Etaddi atura chittanam matra sparsichhayamu. Sparsa ichhayam. So, sparsh means touch. Matra sparshicchayamu. Muhu, again and again there is a muhu means again and again. Repeatedly there is a tendency to touch. Yes. So there is a divine touch required in order to protect somebody from the forbidden touch. Yes. There's a good touch, there's a bad touch, there are different kinds of touches. We speak about all this. So the real good touch is touching the deities. Right? So every couple should have a divine couple between them. And when the divine couple are regularly touching the deities, decorating the deities, worshipping the deities, washing the deity paraphernalia, cooking bhoga for the deities. So the life is centered around deities, then there will be auspiciousness. The next, worship of Brahmana. Yes, Brahmana in any form. Brahmana as the Guru, Brahmana as meaning the other Brahmanas who are Grihasthas, Brahman sadhus, mendicants. Their worship is also important. Grihastha inviting guests. So today guests inviting guests, Atiti Devo Bhava. How many of you heard this slogan, Atiti Devo Bhava? Atiti means would come without notifying you. You don't plan and discuss. Tithi means time. Atiti means no time. They come anytime. How many of you will be comfortable today, in today's day and age, if somebody comes to you without informing you? Suddenly they land up, no, not at all. We had our own plan to go out, movie or shopping and all this stuff. How these guys can come? So Atiti Devo Bhava. Of course, those who come, Atiti, they should behave like demigods, right? They should behave like demigods. So the real guests are Brahmanas, the mendicants, the monks, the sages. They are Deva Bhava because they represent Deva. Today's guests may not represent Deva. Yes, Atiti Asura Bhava also can be there. They represent Asura because they're coming to take you to hell. Oh, it seems that you're attending Bhakti classes and Bhakti Japa Sangha, Bhakti Sang Japa classes, etc. Why too much Bhakti? To come with us. We are going to hell. Yes. So such kind of Atiti is not Deva Bhava. Today Atiti is not. Such Atiti is like Brahmanas. They are the real Atiti Deva Bhava. Yes. And then most importantly, the Yuga Dharma. The worship of Achyuta that we do in the form of japa, chanting of the holy name. So this is the section. Why I'm spending so much time in the introduction is because the purport is very small. If we start the purport, it'll get over. So I just thought that I can elaborate and speak something about what is going to come ahead. Okay, so we go to today's shloka. Shri Yudhishthira Uvacha Grihastha etam padavim vidhana yena chanjasa yayat devarshe bruhi madrisho grihamudadi. Okay, let's see what Yudhishthira Maharaj. This is Yudhishthira Narada Samvad. This is how the seventh canto began, right? How did the seventh canto begin? So seventh canto began in the Ratsu Yajna. Remember, seventh canto first chapter. It began that time when Ratsu Yajna, where Yudhishthira Maharaj saw that Krishna with the Sudarshan Chakra delivered Shishupal and his soul entered into Krishna's body. That's when he starts asking Narad Muni, please come. And if you see, Narad Muni got the seat of Yudhishthira Maharaj. He's sitting on top, Yudhishthira is sitting down. Please instruct me, tell me, what is this? I'm not able to understand. Then they go into the history of this Shishupal was before Hiranyakashipu. Then the whole Prahlad Leela happens. So Prahlad Leela goes on till the 10th chapter. And after that, Yudhishthira Maharaj thinks this is too much. Some pure bhakti is very rare. Some instruction on Varnashram. Then 11th, 12th, 2 instructions of Varnashram. And again, the 13th chapter, Prahlad Maharaj revisits. Again, as a king, he wants to take instruction. Now comes 14th chapter. Right? So this whole canto is Yudhishthira and Narada Samvada. Yes, so it is all taking place in the Ratsu Yajna. So Yudhishthira Maharaj now makes further inquiries. Yes, further inquiries. So Grihastha Etat Padavim. Yes. So now, how does a Grihastha he achieve Padavim? Padavim is a position. It can refer to any position. But specifically because this question is contextual. It's contextual, so it refers to position of liberation. Yes. That is the position that somebody should achieve. Human being means he should strive for this position. Vidhina yena chandasa. So, what kind of process by which he anjasa means easily. Yes, vidhi. All those rules and regulations by which he can achieve the position very easily. So, chanjasa means easily. And this is what he wants. So Yudhishthira Maharaj wants some easy process for Grihasthas. Yes, don't make very difficult. The Brahmachari sadhus and sannyasis, big fellows, they will all do very easily. Anything you give them, for them everything is easy. But here in the Grihastha life, anything you give is difficult. So you please give something easy. Some easy life. Please tell us something is easy. Yes, some easy method is there. Made easy. So Yayad Devarshi Bruhi. So Devarshi, kindly you can tell us. Yeah. So Narad Muni is addressed here. Please kindly speak. Yeah. Madrisho Griham Mudadi. So here two things. Mere jaise, like me. Madrisho. So he is giving his own example. This is humility of Yudhishthira Maharaj. See, can you imagine Krishna is personally present in Yudhishthira Maharaj's home for a long time. Krishna is coming for Agra Puja. Krishna is present. I'm just sorry, I was just getting a call. I will. Yes, so like me. Griha Mudadhi. So Griha Mudadhi means like he's calling the householders usually having Mudadhi. Prabhupada translates this as completely ignorant of the goal of life. Yes, one was completely ignorant of the goal of life. That is Griha Mudadhi. So, Yudhishthira Maharaj very humbly says, like me. So, for us who are ignorant of goal of life, please give us an easy method to attain liberation. Can somebody read the translation, please? Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj.
In the previous chapters, the great sage Narada has explained how a brahmachari, a vanaprastha, and a sannyasi.
Translation, please.
Translation is Maharaja Yudhishthira Translation by Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaja Yudhishthira inquired from Narada Muni, "O my lord, O great sage, kindly explain how we who are staying at home without knowledge of the goal of life may also easily attain liberation according to the instruction of the Vedas." Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes. So this is Yudhishthira Maharaj's question. So in the previous chapters, the three ashramas were very well discussed. The ashramas of renunciation. Now Narada explains in the 14th chapter the path of grahastha, holder life, engaged in worldly activity according to time and place. So this path is explained in the first 18 verses as discussed. Yeah. So one may have a question. Can one attain liberation, the results of the paths of renunciation, by the path of enjoyment, if the path of enjoyment leads to birth and death? So usually the path of enjoyment is called as pravritti marga. And the path of liberation directly, the path of renunciation is called as nivritti marga. Yeah. So nivritti marga definitely leads to liberation. Pravritti marga leads to liberation after a long time. Eventually. That means one after sufficiently getting frustrated in enjoyment, one wants to go for liberation. That is a pravritti marga. Yeah. So the king asks Narada to begin describing the path of enjoyment for a person qualified as householder. Yeah. After having spoken of brahmachari, vanaprastha and sannyasi life, all involved in renunciation. Yeah. So in the previous chapters, if we see, this is the first paragraph. Prabhupada summarizes the previous chapters. In the previous chapters, the great sage Narada has explained how a brahmachari, vanaprastha, a sannyasi should act. First, he explained the dealings of brahmachari, vanaprastha, and sannyasi because these three ashramas or stages of life are extremely important for fulfillment of goal of life. Yeah. So in these three ashramas, 1, 2, 3, one practices exclusive Krishna consciousness. So this is Vedic life, which means 75% of one's life, one is practicing pure Krishna consciousness, exclusive Krishna consciousness. Only the other 25% of life, one is allowed to take material responsibility. It's not that it's unrestricted enjoyment. It is responsible, restricted, regulated enjoyment. Yes, there is enjoyment. What is that enjoyment? We are going to see. But there is a responsibility involved, there is a restriction which is there, and there is regulation which is there. Correct? That is when one is allowed to enjoy. So that kind of enjoyment is only allowed 25%. The other 75% of life is exclusive spiritual life, pure Krishna consciousness. Right? One should note that in the brahmachari ashram, vanaprastha ashram and sannyas ashram, there is no scope. That's what, there is no scope for sex life. Whereas sex life is allowed in the grahastha under regulation. See. Again, a grahastha can enjoy sex life provided he has taken responsibility. So one has to take responsibility to maintain a wife, to maintain children. There is restriction also. It's not that one can enjoy sex life whenever he wants. No, there are a lot of regulations for Garbhadhan. There's a lot of restrictions and regulations only for begetting Krishna conscious population. But it's still called as enjoyment. It is a license. So thus Grahastha life becomes a license for enjoyment. But that license comes with responsible, restricted and regulated. That's very important. So without proper brahmachari training, one cannot become a good grahastha. So ideal family life. So before having ideal family life, one should have ideal student life. That's ideal brahmachari life. Because without the ideal brahmachari life, we cannot have ideal grahastha life. Very important. Narad Muni therefore first described brahmacharya, vanaprastha and sannyas because he wanted to stress that sex is not at all necessary. Yes, sex is not at all necessary. Although one who absolutely requires it is allowed to enter grahastha life or household life, which is also regulated by the Shastras and Guru. So we had already discussed this. I was once given the shloka Srimad Bhagavatam in Bhakti Sangjapa. Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto 12th chapter 11th verse. So this was a shloka given to me, and this whole shloka was about this theme only. That how the Grahastha's sex life also is controlled by Guru. So Grahastha, first when he gets instruction by the spiritual master to have indulge in sexual activity to produce children, then after getting blessings of Guru, then whoever he may be a king, he may be a businessman, he may be a brahmana, he may be a shudra, whoever it is. Because shudras usually don't have Guru, they are masters. But under their instruction, then going as per Shastras, we had discussed in detail in that particular class. Those who wish to revisit that can go and revisit. I given the verse number. So there are a lot of Shastras. So that way, that two things I had focused. One is on Guru and Shastra. So how Guru is the one who conducts the whole theme of Prabhupada's purport. Under Guru, the sex life is controlled by any grahastha. That's ideal sex life. And second thing is how the Shastric regulations are also there. Garbhadham Samskar. What are the different rules? How to choose a particular date. Many things we had discussed there for the Garbhadham. So much of regulations are there. It is not that a person can have. So we saw there is a responsibility, there is a restriction, there is regulation. Restriction is one cannot have sex outside the marriage. You should have within the marriage only. Responsibilities, there has to be maintenance. You cannot simply use the person and throw. And regulation is to Shastras and Guru. They are the regulators. The Shastra and Guru, they regulate. So Yudhishthir Maharaj could understand all this. Yes, he could understand all these things very clearly. So with this in background, then he is asking the question. Therefore, a grahastha, he presented himself as a grahastha. See, as a grahastha, humbly I would say. He presented himself as Graha Mudha Ti, one who is completely ignorant of the goal of life. Yes, Tadviddi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshantite Jnanam Jnaninas Tattva Darshana. This is how a disciple should present questions before the spiritual master. So we are able to see his pranipat. Yes, questions cannot be posed in arrogance or in a challenging spirit. There has to be pranipata, submissiveness, humility. And Yudhishthira Maharaj is precisely exhibiting that quality when he is putting forward questions. Now there's another verse that comes in the Bhagavatam. This is by Nand Maharaj. He speaks this to Garga Muni. Mahad vichalanam nrinam grihinam dina chetasam nishreyasaya bhagavan kalpate nanyatha kochit. Yes. So here he is glorifying as a grihastha. Nanda Maharaj is playing the role of a grihastha. And he is glorifying Garga Muni. Who is the renunciate? Mahad Vichalana. So these Mahad, these great souls, the renunciates, Vichalanam, they move around. Where they come, Nirnam, to the houses of ordinary persons, especially the Grahasthas, Grahinam, who are called here as Dina Chetasam. That means, what is the meaning? Now, why I quoted this verse is for Dina Chetasam. Graha Mudadhi. Mudadhi means not knowing the goal of life. Yet in another place, Grihinam Tina Chetasam. He is presenting, look at the humility of Nanda Maharaj. He is the father of Krishna, but he is saying Dina Chetasam. Dina Chetasam means who are very simple minded, being engaged in family maintenance and nothing more. Again, it's more or less the same thing, right? Their goal of life is to simply maintain the family. In India, there's a slogan, they say, Hum do, Hamare do. We too and our too. Yes, these kind of slogans they are having and they tend to maintain that. So that is Dina Chetasam, which means again, they do not have a spiritual goal as such. Their family maintenance and nothing more. Nothing more means no spiritual life. So Nishreyasaya. Yes, Nishreyasaya. Bhagavan is a most powerful devotee. Bhagavan is powerful devotee of Lord, who is connected to Lord. They are calling Gargmuni as Bhagavan. Nishreyasaya. So he doesn't have any reason. He absolutely has no reason to go here to the house of the Grihastha. But still he is coming out of genuine compassion. Kalpate nanyata kvachit. Yeah. So like that he's glorifying. So this Dina Chetasam is also there. Graha Modadi. These words presents the humility of the ideal. They're all ideal grihasthas actually. Yudhishthir Maharaj, Nanda Maharaj. One is a Kshatriya, one is playing the role of a Vaishya. Yet they're actually Mahabhagavatas. But they are very wonderfully and nicely submitting unto the great souls. Correct? So a person who remains a householder in family life, remains, is certainly ignorant of the life's goal. He is not very much advanced in intelligence. Yes. So as per the Shastras, from 26 to 50 is the householder life, these 25 years. But like if we see the Dhritarashtra, despite being old, he was coughing mucus. Yes, he had become wrinkled, his all hair had turned grey, and he was very sick, completely blind, being maintained by Bhima, and even at such an age he remained in the household life. So he was criticized by Vidura. Vidura was criticizing the Dhritarashtra's mentality. Oh, what are you doing? Yes, what is this? So this particular mentality is something which is criticized, who remains a householder and does not go to the next step, the Vanaprastha life. And this is the reason exactly even Vidura had come to the home of Dhritarashtra. Ideally, Vidura had become a sannyasi. Once you become sannyasi, you don't go back home. But he came in order to take Dhritarashtra, you come with me. Somebody may say, Vidura, you come back, you come to settle again. That sannyasi entering the home again is like Vantasi, one who vomits and drinks the vomit. But Vidura did not come for that. Vidura came, I have gone now, I have come to take you also. You come with me. Come. So Vanaprastha life. Vanaprastha. One has to proceed ahead. So what exactly, now when we say today there are no Vana, where is the Vanas for Vanacharis? Vanachari is still in order in ISKCON society also we give those titles. It's become very rare. So what exactly has to be given up? That is spoken by Prabhupada next. As soon as possible, one should give up his so-called comfortable life at home and prepare to undergo severe austerities or tapasya. Yeah. So the problem is comfortable life, luxurious life. Because such a comfortable life or luxurious life cannot lead one to samadhi. Bhogaishwarya prasaktana taya apahrta chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidiyate. Yes, giving up bhoga and aishwarya. Specifically, bhoga means sex life and aishwarya means luxuries. Bhoga and aishwarya, luxuries. Correct? Luxuries. these things takes our mind away from fixing on Krishna. That's what happens. We cannot fix our mind easily on Krishna. So this comfort has to be given up. Yes, even if one does not give up home, so-called externally, that's okay. But our energy should be not on Bhoga and Aishwarya. The energy should be in Krishna consciousness. So that's called Tapo Divyam Putrakayena Sattvam. So according to the instructions given by Rishabdev to his sons, we should not create a so-called comfortable situation, but must prepare to undergo austerity. This is how the human being should actually live to fulfill one's ultimate goal. So I just wanted to ask what kind of austerity you all think Rishabdev is referring to all of us. So practically in our situation, what kind of austerity can we talk about? Can you please type and help? We can all type in our chats. What is the austerity that we all need to perform? Okay. Waking up early. Okay. Okay, there are many more. So Sankirtan, for doing japa, waking up early in morning, Ekadashi Vrat. Very good. These have got maximum votes. Engaging in more services. Okay. Completing 16 rounds attentively in the early morning. Very good. Always thinking about Krishna. Okay. Listening to Srimad Bhagavatam class while being awake, not sleeping. Alright. Following 4 regulative principles. Right. Taking care of Atiti. No TV, newspaper, pajama. Pajamas. It was interesting. Attending temple program regularly. Going to temple, yes. It's an austerity. Following principles and instructions told by Guru Maharaj. No prajalpa. Yes. Bringing others to Krishna consciousness. Preaching is an austerity. Nice. Thank you so much. You all give very beautiful understanding of what is austerity. So the austerity, what exactly is the austerity accepted by to be done? Tapo Divyam. That is something which is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.1. This is a commentary of Acharya and then Prabhupada's commentary. We'll just discuss this and we will close our discussion and we'll ask question answers. In order to establish Bhakti Yoga, he first says that material enjoyment should not be practiced as the goal of life. So austerity, life of austerity means the goal has to be very clear. The goal is not material enjoyment. One should not have desires which give trouble, such as seeing or touching a woman. Again, Chakravarti Thakur is very, very clear. Yes. So those desires which give trouble, one should not have. Is this going to be, is this trouble desire or transcendental desire? Both start with T. That's a check we should have. We most of the times we go for the desire that give us trouble and we fall into trouble. But we need to have transcendental desires. Yeah. These desires are available in pig body. By enjoying material objects, the human body becomes equal to that of pig. One should strive in the human body for what is not available in the pig body. Yes. Say seeing the female pig and touching female pig is available even in pig body. But what is that which is not, that technology is not available in pig body? Yes. So that is austerity. Austerity is the distinguishing characteristic of human, going beyond eating, sleeping, mating, defending. However, the tree also performs austerity. What is the austerity of tree? Not eating, tolerating the sun and rain. Therefore, such things are excluded by saying that that is the austerity related to the Lord. So this is not somebody is fasting. This is not austerity. He is tolerating sun and rain. That is also not austerity, because that even tree is doing. What big deal? What big deal is there? Tree is also doing that. Yeah. So the main austerity here is it should be connected to Krishna. That is when it becomes divya, spiritual austerity. Yeah. So the whole purpose of austerity is to purify the antakaran. Antakaran is subtle body. So the subtle body's purification is the austerity. This Prabhupada's purpose, we'll just read something on that. After doing severe hardships all day, human beings are trying to enjoy themselves at night by eating, drinking, and having sex and sleeping. At the same time, they have to defend properly themselves. However, this is not human civilization. This is animal civilization, right? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Yes, eating, sleeping, mating, defending is dharma of animals. Humans should do parodharma. Human life means voluntarily practicing suffering for the advancement of spiritual life. So what answers you all gave? Like waking up in the morning, doing Ekadashi Vrata, not doing Prajalpa, all these things. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam is an austerity. Coming to Bhagavatam class. These are all actually very painful. Painful to whom? They're very painful to mind. Mind doesn't want to do. No, I don't want to go for class. Let me bunk today. Today is New Year holiday. I'll bunk. If somebody say, why every day 16 rounds? One day will know, I'll skip, I'll do tomorrow 32. Yeah, tomorrow is Saturday. I'll do 32. Today's working day, leave me some excuse. Thursday, Friday, I'll skip, and Saturday, Sunday, I'll do 32 instead. Why that? Why like that? So these are very important for us to know. Yeah. So we have to, should be some kind of suffering, some pain we should take. That's what is sacrifice. Taking some pain. Some pain to make spiritual advancement. There is of course suffering in the lives of animals and plants, which are suffering due to their past misdeeds. However, human beings should voluntarily accept suffering in the form of austerities and penances in order to attain divine life. So we are all on the same track. For the attaining the divine life, we accept these all voluntary sufferings. That is austerity. So human beings should try to live in different way. Should not try to imitate dogs and hogs. Right? The alternative is mentioned. Human life is meant for tapasya, austerity and penance. By tapasya, one can get out of these material clutches. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, devotional service, his happiness is guaranteed eternally. So that is the nature of Krishna is told, right? In Bhagavad Gita, he talks about 3 types of happiness. This comes in the 18th chapter. So happiness in the mode of ignorance is poison in the beginning, poison in the end. Poison, poison. Austerity in the mode of passion, it is nectar in the beginning but poison in the end. And the happiness in the mode of goodness, Krishna says, is poison in the beginning but nectar in the end. So Krishna consciousness is like that. Beginning, suffering, struggling, so much is there. In the end, it is nectar. By taking to Bhakti Yoga, devotional service, one's existence is purified. That is as mentioned by Chakravarti Thakur, one's antakaran. The subtle body is purified. The living entity is seeking happiness life after life, but he can make a solution to all these problems simply by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Then he immediately becomes eligible to return back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. So this is a life of austerity. Everybody has to lead. So these instructions which were given to out of 100 children, 81 Karmakandi Brahmanas they were also Grihasthas. The 10 Kshatriyas were also Grihasthas. 91 of them were Grihasthas. Krishna mentions to Arjuna the austerity of body, speech, and mind. Arjuna is also Grihastha. So even in Grihastha life, there has to be austerity. That is the whole point. Yes, if we can have some questions, it will be very nice.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this very well organized and very comprehensive discussion. Dear devotees, please feel free to raise a hand if you have any question. Prabhuji, I have a question. The term you mentioned, the term is mentioned in today's sloka as Griha Mudadi, is same as Griha Medhi or different?
Yes, it can be, because Graha Medhi is a person whose life is centered around enjoyment. And Graha Mudadi is a person who doesn't have spiritual goal at all. There is no question of spiritual goal. He doesn't know what is spiritual goal. Right? The spiritual goals, not there. Going back to Godhead, not there. So such a person is a Graha Medhi.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Sure.
See, I am raised. Prabhuji, as you mentioned that there are three things: responsible, restricted, and regulated. What's the difference between a restriction and regulation? Because if something is regulated, that gives you some restrictions. That's why it's called regulated.
A restriction is we cannot have sex life outside marriage. It has to be within marriage. And regulation means the purpose for which one has to beget Krishna conscious children. That is regulation. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. Kripa Mai Sita Mataji, can you please go ahead with your question? Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. I cannot see
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
can hear you.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam, Prabhuji. Excellent session, Prabhuji. And I want to know that austerities, you told what are the austerities. You kindly tell us here in the 60 plus, no, what are the austerities we can follow in being in a family life like that. What
Okay.
are the kindly
The
advice?
austerity is to be Krishna conscious throughout the day and not entertain Maya. That is the principle. We should check if this particular desire, is it a troubled desire or a transcendental desire? We check that and we go for it. That is austerity, to avoid the troubled desire and to take up the transcendental desire. Okay?
You're often visiting temples and then reading, chanting, and reading the books.
Very much. And most importantly, not doing those things which create trouble.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Mitravinda Mataji, can you please go ahead with your question? Mitravinda Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna?
Yes, we can hear you, Mataji. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much. Dandavat Pranams. I'll go to Srila Prabhupada. Since we are speaking about austerities and from the perspective of education, when you're speaking of marriage, I have a couple of questions. One is, what are your realizations regarding austerities in the Grihastha ashram? And of course, you're not married, but perhaps from the perspective of being around other married devotees, or perhaps your parents. And then also, I would like to know, for the sake of education, please share, because there are several ways to be married regarding Vaishnava culture. So when you speak of sex life in marriage, which aspect of marriage are you speaking of? Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your question. If I've understood your question, you're asking me to share my realizations of observing the Grihastha life experience, what exactly it is. And the second thing that you were asking is, with respect to just for the purpose of education, what exactly is, where exactly the sex life, etc., has to be exercised in order to, go ahead in the Grihastha ashram. Okay, I'll try to answer that. Number one, well, the more what I have observed is there are phases. A Grihastha undergoes different phases. I just try to share this in the form of presenting. Yes, there are different phases of life a Grihastha undergoes. And as per that, the first tripod that has to be balanced is very amazing. One has to balance one's sadhana, one's occupation, and family. This particular balance is very important, right? And this, when a Grihastha enters the family life, this kind of balance is something that is initially expected. Now, I'm just sharing my own experience. So maybe like 1 year, try to balance, just take care of this. And this sadhana includes the temple programs as well. Then once the things are balanced, then after that, one based on this balance, one can try to render some service in the temple. And this service should be done with commitment. You identify with the service, and there's a lot of commitment involved in the service. Right. So this is after some time. Some places you undergo services. There are, whenever there are children, when children are begotten, the first 3 years of the child development is very crucial. Yes, the children need a lot of time and attention, a lot of time and care. And even once the children grow up, they require a lot of attention. That also has to be taken. So serving the child is also service to the community. So we are taking care of a child to become a very wonderful devotee. That is also a service, apart from the service commitment to the temple. Going ahead, if somebody is able to balance this very wonderfully, then one can go ahead in taking up some service, and once thoroughly children responsibilities are all taken up, then one can take up some preaching program. Initially managing it for some senior devotee, and later on mentoring the preaching. So maybe the Grihastha at this particular point of time is about 25 years of age. Just telling. This phase of life, this particular phase of life, maybe like something like 25 to 30, 35. This phase of life, maybe from 35 to 40, 45, and 45 plus. One can even become, now by the time one has got 20 years of experience in the family life, then one can mentor others also going on. And yeah, one goes on like that and start some preaching program exclusively, where one is guiding about at least a group of 20-25 families. The more we take responsibilities, the more we advance and the more we are engaged. And going ahead, one can take up some very important responsibilities even in the ISKCON mission. This is say about something like 50 to 60 or 60, 65. Some responsibilities within the ISKCON society. Yes. So Grihastha ashram is all about balance and keeping this balance intact, building on the different responsibilities at different phases of life. Yeah. This is what I see as. And regarding begetting of children, as mentioned earlier, we beget children under the instructions of the spiritual master. So definitely spiritual master may not be there around with us. So we do discuss with our spiritual mentors who themselves would have been Grihasthas in the past, or they are Grihasthas currently. So taking their guidance, we definitely can go ahead in understanding that when and how to beget children and how to raise the Krishna conscious children, we can do that. This is my humble understanding. This is a very difficult question for me because I don't have any experience. I just try to answer as per whatever I have observed. Is that okay? Her Grace Mitravinda Mataji. Is that fine?
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. That was a wonderful answer. Regarding child development, though, I wanted to clarify, if I might. I'm the mother of 2 children, one at university, one in senior in high school. My Guru Maharaj Bhakti Tirtha Swami gave me specific instructions before marriage and relatable to this Krishna conscious process. So child development, the crucial years are from conception through 7. And so also just from a Vedic perspective, I studied lots of things about Grihastha Ashram before marriage. And of course, I'm not perfect, so, things go as they are in Kali Yuga. But children do not have their own karma until age 5. That is something that's not commonly known for our Vaishnava communities. And mother should be given all aspects needed to raise the child in a Krishna conscious way. I know in Kali Yuga we're geared to work, and because of the way the world is, it's difficult to have an ashram run sufficiently with just one income. But women should not work as much as possible when they are pregnant and rearing Krishna conscious children. It's very, very important to understand this, because you spend time outside and you come home, mommy's tired, daddy's tired. What do you have to pour into the children? Deity worship, etc. So I arranged, my goal was to have that before my vivaha, and it was accepted as a condition. And it's best to think about those things in terms of the ashram. I just wanted to leave those there, but thank you so much for your explanations and your sharing this information. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, and thank you, Prabhuji, for a wonderful discussion. I'm fortunate to witness a discussion. Shukar Krishna Prabhuji, can you please go ahead with your question? Shukar Krishna Prabhuji.
The mute I could not open, it was locked. That's why I could not open. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Sanatana Prabhu, Dharma Prabhu. When I see you, I feel so blissful and happy. I can see a junior Radhanath Maharaj coming up soon. So good. Prabhuji, I want to know that this 12th chapter was mainly, it was Brahmachari, Grahastha and Vanaprastha. And the 13th chapter was on sannyasi. The 14th chapter is on what? What will be the total summarization?
Oh, I had given it at the beginning. I will, however, present it again to you. So if you see the previous chapter, there is a description about Grihastha. Yes, there is a description about the Grihastha life. And the more or less the description of Grihastha life mentioned in the 12th chapter is stating that the restriction and regulation on the sex life, it is mentioned. It is mentioned very briefly. Here specifically the question asked. Yes, that was Grihastha ashram presented from the point of view of how to exactly be in a Grihastha ashram. Like what is a Grihastha ashram? But this particular chapter's focus is mainly on Grihastha ashram moving towards the goal of human life. So that is more emphasized. How to elevate oneself from a Grihastha life. Yes, because the previous chapters covered more about sannyasis and brahmacharis and vanaprasthas. So this particular chapter, this first 18 shlokas,
how to get the detachment from the family life, how
and
to get more
to Krishna consciousness.
on Krishna. Yeah.
Yes, 19 to 33 His time and place to perform Shraddha, 34 to 42 is importance of worshipping deity, Brahmana and Achyuta.
But there's no need to become sannyasi and all, no, because Mahaprabhu also never told that you can be in a grahastha ashram and
That's what he told the Kurma Brahmana. He quoted the Bhagavatam. And not every grahastha becomes a sannyasi as well. Right. So if you see the grahastha, the Brahmanas, they take sannyas. The Kshatriyas go up till Vanaprasth. And if you see the Vaishyas and Shudras remain in the grahastha life for themselves. They don't go ahead. This is normal.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur was in family life till the last 3 days before he left his body, he took the sannyas or something.
But Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what life? Was he living a comfortable life? What kind of life did he say? Called seventh Goswami.
Yeah.
When the big sannyasis cannot live a life like that. He lived following in the footsteps of 6 Goswamis. So he was as good as a renunciate. So ideal family life means Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Ideal brahmachari life is Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. Correct.
So that means in the Vanaprastha life, you should become like a sannyasi at home. That should be the goal. There's no need to go out, that you go to the forest and nothing. There's no need.
Necessarily. Giving up the comfortable life and accepting a responsible life. Accepting the responsibility in Krishna consciousness.
So you become a Bhakti Viksha, having so many things and all. That's itself the responsibilities, helping, mentoring, counseling.
Correct. Because maximum percentage of, and even Prabhupada would say this, the ideal preacher is Grihastha. Is an ideal preacher. Of course, seeing the sannyasis and sadhus, Grihasthas get that inspiration. But as such, an ideal preacher in society is Grihastha because the society is made of Grihasthas. They are the face of this.
Maya and...
They know, they have dealt with it. The sadhus have no experience. Yeah.
Prabhu, one important point now. See, I'm in ISKCON from 1989. So I met Gopal Krishna Maharaj, then I took initiation in Jayaptak Maharaj in 1993. So I have seen one Iyengar in Dubai when I was there in Damodar Desh, Shama Desh. So he is a Sri Sampradaya, but he got inspired so much with Prabhupada. He came and asked Bhakti Vikas Maharaj that, is it wrong if I take... He said, Prabhupada is the general one. Anybody can... Additional cover that it doesn't break the rules. So he went and asked his... he was a Tenkalai. So he went and asked his guru. He said, you can take. So he's doing Om Namo Narayana, that his japa, what his guru has told, and also Hare Krishna mantra. And he's... Ranganathan became Ranganatha Krishna Das. So one more devotee in Chennai, initiation at Siklama, in the house they are shouting, what? You're already with Ramanuja, you're insulting and going like they're shouting. So that Mataji says, I said, you talk to the other Ranganathan Prabhu because he's the Iyengar. He can tell and explain to your people. So I wanted to have your opinion. Is it right to tell, or I'm not pulling them out of Sri Sampradaya? They want to get connected. They said that Prabhupada's hand will be better. We respect Ramanuja, but Prabhupada will be more stronger to go back to God. So what is your opinion? How do you take this? This question has come to me. I told I'll come back to you.
Sure.
Am I right or wrong?
Yeah. See, one thing is we should never ever compare two paths. Even we don't compare that. At the same time, why Krishna has created 4 sampradayas? Because each sampradaya will uniquely inspire that jiva to surrender. So we'll have a natural attraction. If you see Venkat and Parasara Bhatta, they were staunch Sri Vaishnavas. But their son Gopal, as soon as he met Sri Chaitanya, he gave his life. And Gopal Bhatta told, you be with your parents, don't get married. And once your parents depart from this world, then you go and join Rup Sanatana in Vrindavan. His heart's calling was that only. He was attracted to Mahaprabhu, so he became. If you see even Baldev Vidyabhushan was a Madhva as such. He was a Madhva, and then he went to Jagannath Puri. There he got initiation, and he was very much he liked the bhakti of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He liked that his Raga Bhakti. Raganuga Marg, that was not there with the Madhvas. The Madhvas were more Tattvavadis. So he studied his Tattva nicely, and then he went to Vrindavan, and then he was under Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So he used his Madhva post. He used that particular post to fight the Purohits, to argue with them for getting back the Radharani of Govinda.
So Madhava
So
means that Madhava, that is that this Raghavendra Swami. Madhavas means that those who are.
Madhvas is no, we are Madhva Gaudiya. He's from
Okay.
pure, not Gaudiya.
Madhvacharya.
Yes,
Okay.
from Lakshmipati Tirtha. Yes.
But ours
Not
is the best. No, I'm not going to compare because Krishna, Brahma, and again Mahaprabhu has come again in this. So I'm not proud or anything. I feel that we are the best.
Wherever they are inspired, wherever they are, they want to take inspiration from Prabhupada, they can take. There is no problem.
There's nothing wrong no, if they take, even if they don't tell and take also nothing wrong because Prabhupada is open no to do everybody and
Yes,
it's not.
even if you see Kratu Prabhuji, I had met him. Before he met Prabhupada, he was initiated in the Pushti Marg already, he and his wife both.
The Sri
But
Krishna Sharanam Mama.
initially,
That one.
Prabhupada told that if you already initiated in a bona fide Vaishnava parampara, then we don't reinitiate because that becomes Guru Tyag.
He
But
was a
then Prabhupada
Vallabha
still accepted them.
Vallabha Sampradaya. He was the Vallabha Sampradaya. The Pushti Marg
Vallabha
means
Sampradaya,
Sri
Pushti
Krishna
Marg,
Sharanam
yes.
Mama.
Yes. They got.
I want everyone to come to Prabhupada, Prabhu, because let them be anywhere, but just get one more Radhanath Maharaj, Japtak, somebody, they're getting some more support. It's not we are pulling them out and doing.
That will be their inspiration. Their inspiration.
Yeah, they are only asking. I am not telling. They are telling, I want to get connected. Today I asked my guru. I said, as per the rule, you have to ask your guru. Because this is different. But if I ask my family is shouting, shall I secretly take their asking? I will not tell
No,
the
you
name.
should. Yeah, it's okay. So let them, they have to face whatever consequences. Yes, and they should have a conviction. They should not have disrespect for any path. They should they should have respect for every path. But you should have firm dedication to your own inspiration. Like we respect all paramparas, but our loyalty is to Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Romba Romba Nandri.
Nandri. Hare Krishna.
Thanks.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Manjari Leela Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for beautiful discussion. I don't see any more hand raised. I see Sonali Mataji. Can you please go ahead with your question, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Sorry, I missed most of the class, so I don't know if you had covered this one, so I was hesitating to ask. Prabhuji, so they, as you were mentioning about the happiness that in the mode of a goodness, it is poison in the beginning and nectar at the end. So that nectar you experience very late in Krishna consciousness. We were talking about the austerity also, that how it is austerity to do many things in Krishna consciousness. And being a grahastha, it's more troublesome. If you are staying in the ashram, it's comparatively easy to stay in Krishna consciousness all day. Being grahastha, and that too, if your family is not in Krishna consciousness, it's a very it's like austerity every moment, every day. And in that process you somehow lose that enthusiasm also, because you don't get that happiness also from that. And when you hear devotees saying that comments that if you are doing Krishna consciousness properly, then you should look happy, you should look blissful, and you don't look blissful and happy all the time. And even if you're not doing that for the you are not doing Krishna consciousness for your own happiness, you're doing it for Krishna, but you yourself you don't look kind of happy or blissful all the time because of this austerities, while doing this austerity. So what is your comment, how you should be, how you can still because there is a thing that very ignorant and very elevated, only those people you can see that they are very blissful and happy, all others are struggling and you don't see them happy. So these are all different statements I'm putting in front of you. Can you please comment that how you, while doing this austerity, you should feel happy?
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.
So I'll just cut cut the story short. How to be blissful in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is a naturally blissful process. And a pure devotee is blissful. And of course, as you rightly said, a fool is also blissful. He thinks ignorance is bliss. What about others? Others should act enthusiastically. Yes, we act enthusiastically, we become enthusiastic. We can follow that instruction. Prabhupada said, if you're not enthusiastic, you act enthusiastically. And that's what we can try to do. Be as enthusiastic and happy in performing devotional service with whatever little gratitude we have of what we have got. Right? Yes, there are a lot of struggles and challenges, and that really occupies our head and space, and things have become very difficult. But however, let us focus on the blessing. Yes, that's what Bhagavatam teaches us. Kalor dosha nidhe rajan asti eka mahan guna. So that one mahaguna, the one blessing, that is something that we focus upon. So the very fact that despite of all these struggles and challenges, we have got Krishna consciousness. Let's just be happy with it. Okay. So we are all struggling. We're all struggling sadhakas. Let's struggle together. Okay. I just quickly comment on Srinivas Prabhu's question, which is in the chat. Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandvat Pranam. Please explain the importance of Tapta Mudra Dharana. If you see the Paramparas, there are 5 aspects of initiation. There's Nama, there's Urdhva Pundra, the holy name, the new spiritual name, then the Urdhva Pundra. There is Tapta Mudra Dharana. Number 4, there is Archana, there is Yajna. So if you see, Prabhupada split initiation into 2 parts. The first initiation, which is Nama and Urdhva Pundra. The second initiation, which is Archana and Yajna. So he gave it to, because we found that Western disciples were not very elevated for Brahminical standards. They were not ready. And the Chinna aspect of Tapta Mudra Dharana, this is for the Vaikuntha Gati. That is something that he took it off. On the other hand, he accepted Chinna. This is also called as Chinna. So we accept Vaishnav Chinnas, right? Vaishnav Chinnas are like Kanti Mala. We accept the Tulsi Mala. So that is the equivalent of Vaishnav Chinna for us. The Vaishnav markings. So we accept the Tulsi Mala. That's a Vaishnav marking for us. Okay. Thank you.
So one last question I got, Prabhu. A very serious burning question. One Mataji there, Anita Ramaya Mataji, who comes for our Bhakti Sangha, very good Mataji. Anita Ramaya Mataji. She's from Sharjah.
Sharjah, I know.
I was the Sharjah Yatra leader from 1993 to 2009. Almost like 16 years. And after I came, I made one Ramananda Prabhu as the leader, and she was under him, and so they were trying to give her shelter. And then he had gone to Mayapur to serve Guru Maharaj permanently, started accounting and his wife. So now the new Mataji has become that she's telling, your husband is eating meat, so you can get next life, you come back, maybe we'll get initiated. He said, what the thing they're talking? Because the husband eats outside, she's telling, till every become devotee, you cannot eat, and sometimes they may eat and come, so may sleep with you. So then he said, I'm losing interest, Prabhu. If I'm going to get initiation next life, I don't know where I will be born. Then I spoke to Ramanand Prabhu in Mayapur. He said, no, I'm going to Sharjah. Tell her to talk to me and make it corrected. But it is not correct. But if somebody else is eating means you will not get initiated. Prabhupada's sister, her husband was eating, and Prabhupada said, help him, don't leave him, make and give. So how can people just give the order, no, next life you can get initiated? She was crying one full night. She said, I don't know what to do, Prabhu. How will I said, I will try to sort out. And I spoke to Mayapur. So what do you say that? Is it that somebody eating meat, you cannot get initiated? Some wife is taking milk, husband cannot get initiated.
There is one case of Mr. Dosa. So I remember Mr. Dosa. He was from Muslim origin. So his family members all were. So what we have to follow Guru Sadhu Shastra. What did Prabhupada instruct? So Prabhupada instructed Mr. Dosa. He instructed him. His whole family, they were all very against his coming to Krishna consciousness. Temple was very far. But he was sincere, so Prabhupada gave him shelter.
You know?
To say this much. Rest of the issue, if you wish to discuss, we can discuss personally outside the class.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your question, and thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your answers. Dear devotees, offer our humble obeisances to our speaker, Prabhuji, today.
Jai.
जय गौरंगा
नित्यानंदा
Nityananda.
नित्यानंदा
जय जय श्री राधे
हरि
श्याम
बोल
सब वृंदावन
Hare
धाम।
Hare
हरि
गोवर्धन
बोल
के जय लाल